That gets a round of boos from the fans. It'll send Jeff Moss to the line. Excellent free throw shooter. He buries the first of two. So it's kind of like getting a good head start, isn't it, Kenny?
It is a little pressure on Jeff Moss to have to come out, and kind of been in and out of a slump and have to go shoot two free throws, but he drills them both. So that's a great start for him personally.
Well, the good news is Jeffrey hasn't been slumping at the charity stripe. A slump for Jeff means he's missed 2 out of 10 when he's at the line. So now it'll be a jump ball. So that's just the 2 free throws, the penalty. And the opening tip will be controlled by the Racers. So, in effect, it is the same thing other than the possession arrow will flip. So we are underway. Campaign brings it across the center stripe. He works the right sideline. On the right wing, looks for the lob. He finds Sapp. Sapp brings it to the top of the key with a left-hand dribble. Racers in their navy. All red for Southeast Missouri. Pass comes to Farrell. Jumper, no good by Williams. And on the rebound, it is Nino Johnson for Southeast Missouri. Pass comes to the right side now to Isaiah Jones. Jones deep on the wing. Comes top of the key to Calvin. Calvin with a right-hand dribble. Gets a screen. Comes to the wing. Looks for the lob out front. It comes to Jones. Jones goes inside to Adeoye. Now the lob in the lane is up and in by Antonius Cleveland. Little floater in the lane.
Cleveland's so good at putting the ball on the floor, Neil, and being able to attack. Long, lanky wing player. He can really get to the basket.
Tied at 2. Getting the assignment is Calvin on Payne. Pass right side comes to Moss. Moss three-pointer rims out. On the right side, rebound taken by Southeast Missouri. Johnson finds Calvin. Calvin works on the far side. Comes this way. Nearly lost the ball, but is able to corral it. He finds Adeoye. Adeoye will drive in, and as he drives, we'll get a reaching foul called against the Racers.
It's like Jeffrey Moss reached in there as Adeoye was driving to the basket. Southeast Missouri comes out after the made basket with a 2-2-1 full court press, Neil.
Inbounds pass. Launch a 3, no good. Now to Calvin's hands. The Racers get the rebound. Tip to the hands of Payne. Payne on the left side looks for the lob. Kind of high, but Williams able to grab it. Tries to back down to the defender. Instead kicks it to Sapp. Rejects the 3. Drives in. Finds Williams. He dribbles, and he shuffled his feet before he went in.
Jarvis Williams catching the ball at the high post with the defender off 2 feet in the lane, waiting for him to make a move, and he just shuffled those feet a little quick before he could get the ball on the floor.
Game tied at 2. Southeast Missouri with the ball. Each team feeling the other out at this point. Calvin throws left side to Jones. To the top, it comes to Adeoye. Now to Cleveland on the wing. If you're listening, Bradley hasn't started recently, but he comes off the bench, provides a big punch. Drive through 2 defenders, dump inside. Jones to Johnson. He stumps it in, and the Redhawks lead. Payne. Deflected pass, caught by Sapp, attacks the lane, puts it up, and it rattles in.
Out of the scouting report, the Racers want to attack that press before it can get set. We're very successful doing so there.
Game tied at 4. Far side, Jones comes out top to Adeoye, looks for Cleveland, has him on the wing. He's guarded by Sapp. Pass comes to the top. It's Calvin. To the left side now to Jones. Jones works the right sideline. He'll back it out. Comes top of the key. Picked up by Farrell. Looks for a mismatch. Doesn't have it. Right side, 7 on the shot clock. Cleveland deep on the wing. Hop step. Right elbow jump shot. No good. Payne rebounds for the Racers. He wants to push it. Trying to put the Racers back on top. Payne with his back to his defender. Drives in, and we get a blocking foul called against Southeast Missouri. Redhawks fans boo, but that wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't. And in transition, Campaign saw an opening, put it on the floor, exploded by his man. He's got that first step, Neil, that is so quick, and defenders just don't give him enough room.
Jamal Calvin guilty of the personal. It'll be Moss to trigger. He finds Sapp, an open 17-footer, but it rims out. There's Moss to clear it. He finds Williams. Now Sapp will shoot from 3 range. He missed that one too. Williams, the rebound in traffic, goes up, missed the shot, but was hacked on the arm. He'll go to the line for 2.
TJ Sapp coming off the out-of-bounds play, had a good look, got the offensive rebound, then felt like that he had an open look from the 3. That's probably a shot that he'd take back, but Jarvis Williams is on the offensive glass cleaning it up.
Williams has been in a slump. He's down to 64% at the line. That's his slump. He's been good otherwise, but he hits the first here. The Rangers have made their first 3 free throws, and they're up 5-4. If you're just tuning in, an administrative technical foul for hanging on the rim during warm-ups against SEMO, and Jeffrey Moss cashed in with a pair of free throws. This one rattles and goes in. Good start for Williams, and the Rangers up 6-4. 16:53 and ticking in the opening half as Calvin brings it across the midcourt stripe. One bounces the pass out high to Adeoye. Now Calvin gets it back, works the far side. Cleveland at the top with the catch. Looked like he might have got it away at the walk, but he puts it up and in. Cleveland with a good start. He has 4. We're tied at 6. Payne on the near sideline directs traffic. Bounces it out high to Moss. Moss looks right side for Sapp. Sapp at the free throw line, cut off the elbow. Looks inside, and it's intercepted by Johnson. 3-on-2, race to the basket, and it's knocked out off the leg of Adeoye, and the Racers catch a big break there, but Sapp disrupted it.
He sure did, but big break that Nino Johnson was the primary ball handler on the 2-on-2 break with Adeoye, the 6'8" post player, the other person. So the Racers catch a break there.
Payne will bring it up. We are deadlocked at 6. Payne works the far sideline. Right in front of the scorer's table. 1-4, well, nearly a 1-4 spread, although Moss is high. Driving the lane, goes inside. Farrell had his shot blocked. I believe it was Johnson picked out of there by Adeoye. And now the Redhawks having a chance to take the lead. Down on the low block, it's Johnson. Tries to back down Farrell in the lane. Hook shot, lost the handle, pushed it up, rattles off no good, then off the thigh of Adeoye out of bounds. And that'll get us to our first media timeout. With 15:43 left in the half, we're tied at 6, and we'll be back in a minute on the Racer Sports Network. Any early thoughts?
The game within the game, Neil, is Nino Johnson versus Jarvis Williams in the post. Who can get who in foul trouble? So far, it's neutral, but the Racers were successful in getting fouls on Johnson at Murray. Let's see if they go right at him.
Pressure against the Racers. This caused problems against them last time, but this time they break it. Actually not real aggressive there for Southeast Missouri. Payne drives inside, lost the ball. It was out of his hands, and he claimed someone else touched it, but the officials right there didn't agree. It'll go to Southeast Missouri on a Racer turnover.
Got to be strong with the ball against this Southeast Missouri team as they do. A lot of grabbing, holding, very physical defensive team.
Pass on the right wing. New player in there, Jerikas Bradley. He's the team's leading scorer. Out top it goes to Johnson. Works the left side now to Cleveland. Coming out top, Jones. He grabs the ball. He's between the circles. Now right side, Bradley. Baseline. Hooks it out to Johnson. Thought of shooting a jumper. Now goes inside. Put it off the glass and in. Strong move for Johnson.
A big lineup with Southeast Missouri with Bradley playing the 3.
Racers attack, though. They get the finger roll layup at the other end by T.J. Sapp.
Southeast Missouri in that 2-2-1 zone press, and Cam Payne took it down the sideline in a hurry to find Sapp.
Game tied at 8, 14:38 remaining in the half. Cleveland with his back to Moss begins a left-hand dribble. Throws top of the key now to Bradley. Excuse me, that's Adeoye. They work the far side now to Bradley. Bradley to the top, Jones. He's been on fire from 3 range. Drives inside, dishes to Johnson for the stuff on the baseline.
High screen and roll, very effective.
Pass left side. Payne trying to get it to Moss. Deflected out of bounds by Cleveland. And the Southeast Missouri fans respond as Cleveland says, come on, get on your feet. 10-8.
One of the points of emphasis for defending Southeast Missouri is being able to not allow ball reversal as easy as happened in the first game, something that the Racers have worked on very hard.
Pass to the top comes to Sapp. He looks for Moss, catches, goes inside. Farrell missed the gimme, but he was hacked on the arm. He'll go to the line for a pair of free throws.
Looks like that was on Sharkeus Bradley, which is a good foul to get. Once again, Southeast Missouri very aggressive. Will try to block a lot of shots, Neil. So being able to show the ball, get the ball fake, get these defenders up in the air, and try to get them to the bench in foul trouble.
Racers 68% at the line this season, but they made all 5 out of the gate here as Farrell, a 51% shooter, makes it. 5 field goals for Southeast Missouri, just 2 for the Racers. That free throw doesn't go. However, the Racers only down 1, 10-9, 14:03 and ticking. And across the stripe is Marcus Wallace. He's a freshman. 1 double-digit game until the last two this season, and he's gone back-to-back in double-digit contests. To the top, it's Jones. Jones inside, puts the floater up, and it rattles over the rim and in. Isaiah Jones with the bucket, 12-9. Redhawks, hook pass goes to the right side from Payne to Moss. Payne gets it back to the top of the key. Still looking for his first point. He's the only racer without a point. Lob to the mid-block. It is Williams backing his man down. He goes up and hit it.
Right at Nino Johnson, one-on-one in the post, and Williams had the best of that encounter.
12-11 the score. Racers down by one. Inside it goes to Johnson. He went up for the dunk. Comes off the back of the iron. Kicks high near midcourt. Picked up by Cleveland, who drives in and stuffs it.
Antonius Cleveland with a massive dunk over T.J. Sapp. Got this crowd to their feet.
He caught that off the deflection all the way back near midcourt and then drove it in. Sapp trying to take a charge. No whistle. I didn't really see one either. 14-11 the score. 12:50 remaining. Payne in a double team. Jump pass goes to Williams. Catches. He finds Moss. Right corner three is left short. Gets his own rebound. Drives underneath. It caught rim. He finds Sapp. He's wide open for three, and he can't get it to go. The Racers ice cold behind the arc, and the Redhawks the rebound and a 3-point lead.
Neil, those are two possessions in a row that the Racers could have ball faked and driven that ball to the basket to try to get some contact and get to the free throw line.
Jones to the left side finds Wallace. Into the corner. Hooks it back to Bradley. He puts up a three. He missed. He's not shooting the ball real well behind the arc. 32% from three range. Payne rebounds in traffic, spins away from the defender, gets up in the air, was going to pass it, no one to go to, so he put it up and in.
Cam Payne with such balance and as his body was moving in midair, and he's able to kiss it just right off the front of the rim.
Now the Racer fans respond, 14-13. Redhawks with the ball, spin inside, finger roll up, rolls off, no good, off the fingertips of Jones. Farrell finds Payne. Sapp for three on the wing, he missed it. Rebound back up, Moss rattles it home.
Jeffrey Moss with the weak side board. He's got those long arms, Neil, and you think he should be a much better rebounder. Good to see him attacking the glass early.
15-14. Racers take the lead as we hit the 11:20 mark. Up against immediate timeout. Far sideline, it's Cleveland. He finds Johnson, bounces it to Jones on the near sideline. Finds Cleveland underneath. Hop step, mid-block jumper, missed it, but a foul against T.J. Sapp. Sapp doesn't argue the call, and that'll be TJ's first personal foul. Free throws when we come back out of the media timeout. The Racers up 15-14 with 11:10 left in the half. Back after this on the Racer Sports Network.
Yeah, having a tough time shooting the ball, having some open looks, Neil, just not getting him to fall. And when that happens is when you've got to start attacking that rim. Try to get to the free throw line, get some things going down. The Racers haven't really taken any bad threes. You just want to take those threes in the flow of the offense as opposed to off a loose ball or a rebound, whatever. But the Racers are defending at a high level, so they're in this game regardless of being 0 for 5 behind the line.
The good news is they are 5 of 8 from inside the line, so they are making those shots. Cleveland at the stripe, a 51% free throw shooter. But against the Racers, he seems to knock them down at a pretty good rate, and he hits the first of two here to tie the game at 15. The second by Cleveland is in the air, and it's good too. 16-15, Redhawks on top, Racers with the ball. Langston in the ball game. Sapp is out, Farrell's out. We also see Seymour in for his first action. Pass goes to Williams. Hand off back to Payne. Payne drives for the floater from 8, hit it.
That's a big-time move by Cam Payne there as he exploded past the defender.
17-16, far side Cleveland comes top of the key now to Wallace. Wallace at the point, drives, thought of shooting, goes baseline, a drive inside off the glass, no good. Tipped Williams to Seymour, now to Payne to run the fast break. Payne sidesteps by his man and put it up and in. That looks so easy to hit.
That's that Euro step where he slowed down, took the big step with his right leg, and was able to get under control and make the three-footer.
Drive inside off the glass and in. A tough shot for Isaiah Jones. 19-18, Racers still on top. Payne inside, finds Williams for the stuff.
Isaiah Jones bumping Campaign all the way down the court, and Campaign said, that's fine, I'll give it to my buddy for the dunk.
Dunkin' Donuts dunk shot makes it 21-18. We hit the 10-minute mark of the half. Pass comes far side. Go into the corner. Flipped it out. This is Jones. Top of the key, Bradley. Back to Jones on the right wing. Dribbles once. Gets it away right side to Adeoye. Skip pass to the left side for the three on the way. Good. That's from Marcus Wallace, the freshman. And we're tied at 21. Cross the center stripe. Payne. Left elbow. Through two defenders. Put it up. Missed it through contact. So he will go to the line for a pair of free throws.
Marcus Wallace getting a education and guarding a high major point guard, trying to keep Campaign in front of him. Wallace, the last two games, after playing virtually none at all, Neil, the last two games has averaged almost 29 minutes a game and over 16 points a game. Just amazing what he's done, being able to come in after not playing much.
First of two free throws up and good for Payne, who's off to a great start. He has 7 points, 3 NBA scouts here tonight, including John Paxson. Among them, he is the vice president of basketball operations for the Bulls. Second one in the air, good. Payne hits both. He has 8. And it's 23-21 Racers.
Campaign asked for a breather there, as he had about 4 possessions in a row where he was the primary offense, working very hard to handle the ball and to get to the basket. So we'll see if Kedrick Flomo can come in and give some solid minutes.
Pass to the top. Comes to Adeoye. Out of Bradley. Down low, Jones. Guarded by Seymour. Spin move to get away from him. Across the lane, off the glass and in from Johnson, who's hit 4 shots from point-blank range. We're tied at 23. Flomo works the left sideline. He's at the top. He finds Seymour at 3 range. Open for a beat. Didn't want it. Knocked away by Sapp. Sapp's able to dig it back out. Lost it on the floor. Gets it again. And then finally we get a reaching foul called against Southeast Missouri. If it's against Bradley, but it is not, that would have been his second. Instead, it's Jones, Isaiah Jones, his first.
Southeast Missouri is very aggressive. A lot of hands moving, trying to touch passes. You got to be strong with the ball. You've got to meet your passes in this game tonight.
So we'll see Jones coming back in, A.J. Jones, and checking out will be Bradley for a breather. Flomo works right side. Left-hand dribble. He finds Sapp. He's at the point. Gets it to Seymour. Thought of shooting a 3, but a good close there by Jones. Sapp now tries to drive in on him, and he drew the foul. That will be the 6th. So a non-shooting foul will give the Rangers the ball side court.
Very aggressive defensively by Southeast Missouri, but they're still fouling. These are bump fouls that the referees, they're fouls. You got to call those.
Flomo has it on the far side. Comes to the left wing. It is Sapp through contact. Lost the ball underneath. He's able to save it to Langston. Langston tried to drive it in, and now he'll get it back out to Seymour. 20 on the shot clock. Seymour tries to get past Jones and lost it off his foot out of bounds. It's a turnover.
Justin Seymour in the game with Flomo and T.J. Sapp on the perimeter right now. Not the best ball handling perimeter that the Racers can put out there.
Top of the key, it's Isaiah Jones. On the right wing, Sapp guards him. He already has 1 foul, and he forces a 5-second call and gets the ball right back as we head to our next media timeout, tied at 23. 7:59 to go. Back after this on the Racer Sports Network. Sapp attacks, leaves it for Farrell, who stuffs it in.
That's the press offense that the Racers worked on in shoot-around today, preparing for this trap.
Dunkin' Donuts dunk shot makes it 25-23 Racers. A chance for a lead. The 3 up and in for Isaiah Jones. And it's 26-25. Flomo finds Seymour. He gets it to Sapp. Sapp whips it off the hind end of Isaiah Jones. Well, it should be to the Racers' ball. They're going to give this the other way? What are you talking about? That isn't even close. Well, all 3 officials missed it. Just a horrible call. And I just can't believe all three of them missed it. The pass went right off the hind end of Isaiah Jones out of bounds, and every one of the striped shirts didn't see it. Top of the key, it is Johnson. Racers just have to dig in and overcome it. Johnson looks right side. Jones catch and shoot three, contested, and he hit another one.
He's a volume shooter, and when he starts making a meal, he can make quite a few in a row.
29-25. Seymour finds Farrell. Farrell lobs it back out to Flomo. 29-25. The Redhawks up 4 as Payne, Williams, and Moss prepare to re-enter. Sapp finds Seymour. Back to Sapp. He's been cold from long distance. Right side, catch and shoot three for Seymour. That one's no good. Rebound Johnson. He'll run up the near sideline. Puts the shot off the glass. No tip, no good. And the rebound out to Flomo. Flomo finds Seymour. Seymour bounces it to Sapp. He put it up and in.
Justin Seymour with the bounce pass in traffic, finding Sapp in a hard, aggressive run to the basket. Nice job handling that pass.
29-27, 6-12 and ticking. On the far side, it is Isaiah Jones. He's been hot. He has 10. Shoots the three. Out of rhythm that time. Missed that. And it's off on the rebound, Farrell. He finds Sapp in traffic. Put it off side of the rim. No good. Rebound, Southeast Missouri. It'll be Jones driving by Flomo, and he put it up and in. J.T. Jones with his first points. 31-27. Flomo crosses. Double team. Jump pass finds Sapp. Hands it back to Flomo. 5:39 and ticking. Racers down 4. Flomo to Sapp. Bounce into the far corner to Seymour. Now to Sapp. Back to Seymour. Drives in the paint. Lost the ball. And we're going to get a reaching foul called against Southeast Missouri at the 5:27 mark.
Number 33, J.T. Jones, his third. Team foul number 7.
Foul number 3 on J.T. Jones. So he may be out for a while.
The Racers have the bonus here with Justin Seymour, who's been one of our better free throw shooters, Neil, in conference play. Racers come in with Cam Payne, Jarvis Williams, and Jeffrey Moss is waiting to come in for Seymour as well.
Racers, when it comes down to it, the reason they're trailing is bad three-point shooting. 0 for 6. Seymour's hit 3 for 6. Thus, the Racers down 4. And Seymour misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Redhawks have the rebound, leading by 4. Far side, Wallace comes to Johnson. Away to Calvin. Top of the key, passes to the far sideline. It goes back to Wallace. Wallace, free throw line extended left side. Gets it to Cleveland. Free throw line jump shot. Hit it.
Cleveland gets such elevation on his jump shot. That 6'4" frame of his, he really gets off the floor.
33-27, down to the mid-block. It is Williams. Up for the hook. It's good over Adaoui.
Racers going back and establishing paint first. Try to get that ball in the post and not relying on that three-point line.
33-29, Wallace on the wing. Tries to spin down on the baseline. And we'll get a foul called against Campaign. It'll be his first. It's only the third against the Racers. It'll be a non-shooting foul for the Redhawks. Sapp goes out. Rambo comes in. Farrell will go out for a breather. Seymour is out. 4:41 remaining in the half. 33-29. Lob pass comes right side to Johnson. To Adaoui at the point. Looks for Wallace. He catches. 16-footer. Rattles in.
What poise Wallace is playing with after not having a lot of minutes throughout the year.
35-29. Wallace has 5. Another terrific start for him. Payne called for carry the ball, and he sure did. Turnover for the Racers. That's their 6th. And right now, they're just being outplayed. They have more turnovers. They're not shooting it as well, although they're shooting it pretty good overall, 52%, but 0 of 6 from 3 range. And, Kenny, last year they didn't defend well up here, and right now they're giving up 60% shooting.
That's the difference in the game, Neil, is on the defensive end. The Racers aren't defending at their normal levels, and it's a lot of easy shots, a lot of points in the paint here early in the game.
Galvin comes right side to Isaiah Jones. To the top of the key, Bradley. Now on the wing. To the top, it comes back to Jones. Jones to the wing. Jumper is no good from Cleveland. Williams rebounds off to Payne. Racers trailing by 6 as we go under 4 minutes. Jump pass right side to Sapp. nearly lost the ball, finds Payne for a corner three. It's no good. Racers still haven't hit one, but Williams rebounds out high. He finds Moss. Racers are 0 of 7 behind the arc. 3:40 and ticking. Pass to the mid-block. Williams, double team, throws a pass near midcourt, but there's Sapp to save it. 20 on the shot clock. Crossover dribble, spins in the lane, and then threw it away. It'll be Southeast Missouri with a run out. Cleveland stuffs it, and the lead is 8. And Steve Prohm takes a timeout as the Redhawks have gone up 37-29 with 3:23 to go, Kenny.
Racers are on their heels defensively, Neil. Southeast Missouri is exploding from defense to offense transition with a big breakout then. Campaign was wise not to reach in and get his second foul.
Sirloin Stockade's a pregame favorite for all your Racer teams, offering an all-you-can-eat hot and cold buffet, which includes hot entrees, vegetables, and salads. The full-service bakery offers fresh rolls, pies, cakes, and soft-serve ice cream with a variety of toppings. Great food at a great value at Sirloin Stockade. Look for the Big Cow on South 12th Street.
We talked about the explosiveness that this Southeast Missouri team has offensively, shooting 60% so far through the first 17 minutes of the game. The Racers have to defend at a higher level, being able to eliminate that ball reversal. That was the key point in the scouting report, was to keep them from being able to make that cross-court side-to-side pass, and the Racers are having trouble doing that.
Rebounds the Racers' way. They're 14-10, but problems not shooting the threes and very poor defense to this point. Pass to the top, it's Seymour. He finds Moss on the wing. Inside, Williams lost his man, missed the dunk, asked for a foul, didn't get it, but Farrell snags the rebound. Williams finds Payne. 13 on the shot clock. Under 3 minutes to go. Payne finds Williams for 15, and it rattles in.
Like to see Jarvis Williams ball fake that and just explode to the rim, because he can certainly do that with the best of them.
He has 10, 37-31. Redhawks up 6 with the ball, 2:42 to go. There's a three left side, no good. And Seymour the rebound on the miss by Jerikas Bradley. Nearly lost. Seymour picks it up, then he did lose it. And then it's turned over by Southeast Missouri as he knocked the official down. And that's going to have to go the Racers' way, I think, is it not?
It's got to be. That's a break for the Racers. Yeah. As Southeast Missouri had that ball coming in a 2-on-1 break.
The official, can't really blame him there. He was trying, there's nowhere to go. They were coming at the ball, and he had nowhere to go. But he's tried to get as far away as he could and couldn't do it. That'll get us to our media timeout. 2:32 to go. 37-31 Redhawks back after this on the Racer Sports Network. Out of the timeout, sadness in the Racer community today as we lost one of the great ones. Jim Carter lost his battle with cancer. Did so much for the university. Just an absolute treasure of a man. We'll miss him forever, and Murray State certainly much better for it, but we are less without Jim today, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Back to action. Racers have it. Jarvis Williams inside, missed the layup as it rolls off. Coast-to-coast drive. Southeast Missouri up and in on the layup. Jamal Calvin, first points of the game, and back to an 8-point lead for the Redhawks as we hit the 2-minute mark. Campaign with it. To the top, looks for the lob and hits Moss. Nobody with a hot hand outside for the Racers. They haven't been able to buy one. No one. Payne for three. Hit it! Finally, somebody hit a three.
That was pure. Came out of his hand just perfect. Great rotation, Neil, right in front of the NBA scouts.
1 of 8 for the Racers, however. It's 39-34, minute 34 to go. Cleveland knocked away by Farrell. Foot race with Bradley. Steps by him and stuffs it with a Dunkin' Donuts dunk shot.
Jonathan Farrell looked like an outside linebacker making that play, and then took on Jarkeus Bradley and dunked on him in transition.
What a play by Jonathan Farrell, and that's what twice we've seen him do that in the last week or so, Kenny.
I tell you, he has unreal feet, unreal hands, Neil, for a big guy. And he was able to get that ball. He got the steal at half court, had to put it on the floor 3 or 4 times, cut back, crossed over, and then just dunked it on Bradley.
That got the crowd on their feet, and that got Dickie Nutt to a timeout because he saw the Racers, who looked to just kind of be floating dead in the water, then suddenly they have momentum with back-to-back shots.
You talk to the Racers staff, and they will tell you that the second-best defender on this team, regardless of position, is Jonathan Farrell. T.J. Sapp being the best defender, and then Jonathan Farrell, who can really cover. We've seen him cover out on the three-point line. He can obviously cover in the paint and get out there in passing lanes, get a steal, and turn it into a basket.
So now we're waiting for something, not sure what. We're not being televised, but official was checking with something over there. So we're good to go. 39-36, down to a one-possession game in a blink. Goes from 8-3. On the right sideline, it's Calvin. Comes out top to Jones. The right side, Bradley fakes the pass, holds it at his chest. He begins a left-hand dribble, lifts it, throws top of the key now to Calvin. Top of the key, he finds Jones. Jones sidesteps Moss, looks for a screen from Johnson. Inside, drives around Farrell, gives him a bump, missed it, and Farrell's going to get the foul.
Good call there. Nino Johnson is a handful. When he catches that ball on the block, he's 6'9", 250, just long arms, just a force down low. The SEMO's running that high screen, being able to get him on the roll, got him the ball in the block, and he's tough to handle down there.
Farrell's going to come out. He has some sort of blood on his finger. That happens sometimes. You get scraped with a fingernail or get a fingernail popped or something. So certified athletic trainer Eric Frederick takes care of that. They have a limited number of time, and then they have to get a sub in. That's what we're going to have to do here. So T.J. Sapp will have to check in, and Farrell will have to come off the floor.
That's one foul on Jonathan Farrell. So at a minimum, you get to the locker room without him in foul trouble.
Nino Johnson, a 50% free throw shooter, and it's up and in. At Murray State, they hit their season's best at the line. And tonight, they haven't missed. They've hit all three. That one's good. And Johnson looked like a 90% free throw shooter when he stepped to the line there. Perfect form and everything. 41-36. Under a minute to go in the half. Payne across the stripe. He leads the Racers with 11 points. 24 on the shot clock. Racers a little 1-4 action. They get a screen from Williams for three. Payne missed it. And on the tip, we'll get an on-the-back call on Jarvis Williams. Every starter now with one foul for the Racers, but it's non-shooting, and the Redhawks have it.
Contested three-pointer there as Nino Johnson jumped the high screen and came out trying to block the shot of Payne and just kissed off the edge.
Across the center stripe, Marcus Wallace. 5 points on the evening. Comes high on the right side. Throws top of the key. Sapp tried to get a steal, but Cleveland's able to gather it in. Now back to Wallace on the near sideline. Gets a screen from Johnson. Can't use it. Throws on the wing to Bradley. Jab step. Now jacks up a three. It rims off, but it tips out. Williams to Wallace inside Cleveland. Gets an angle and put it up and in.
Jarvis Williams, Racers defended well, but Jarvis Williams tipped it out.
Pass comes to Moss. Moss underhands it up and in. There was a goaltend as someone put a hand in the net for Southeast Missouri, but it went in anyway. So they will have the ball with 6.8 seconds to go, leading by 5. The Rangers going to go in trailing by at least 5. Crossing the midcourt, right side. They just kind of throw up a prayer. Wallace wasn't expecting it, but the Racers will head to the dressing room trailing Southeast Missouri 43-35. A 5-point deficit on the road in Southeast Missouri. They'll have a chance to even add to that as they have led by as many as 8. The Rangers' biggest lead came at 3. And with a 3, they could get that 8-point lead right back. Redhawks have it out top of the key. With the dribble, it's Jamal Calvin. It's deflected out of bounds by the Rangers. It'll go back to SEMO. Pass comes top of the key. It's Calvin. Just kind of in a stare down almost with Payne. Tries to drive by and can't. Gives it to Cleveland deep on the wing. Knocked away by Sapp. Nearly recovered, and then Sapp reached in and got him with a reach in across the body.
TJ Sapp did a fine job on the first piece of the possession, being able to move his feet, get his hands on the loose ball, but then he got caught reaching.
Lob pass comes out front to Calvin. Curls back to the top. Looks to get away from Williams. Bounces it inside. Nearly tipped away from Farrell. Jones tries to back him down. Rather, Johnson does. And a sweet left-handed hook is up and good.
Nino Johnson usually turns to that left shoulder, used the right hand, and that time he wheeled baseline to his right shoulder and used his left hand.
45-38. Payne out top to Sapp. Drives past his man, but cut off on the baseline. Finds Williams. He's open from 15, but it's in and out. Farrell the rebound. Fakes, goes up, and missed it. Gets his own rebound, puts it up and in. And he earned that one.
Jonathan Farrell with workmanlike into the paint there on the offensive glass. Great second effort.
Farrell has 7, and it's 45-40. On the near sideline, it's Isaiah Jones. Picked up by Williams. Fake the pass inside. Throw to the right. It's Cleveland. Cleveland traveled. Nope. Going to be a foul called against Campaign for the push.
Razor foul, number 1.
I thought he got an extra step in there as well, as he was a little out of control there. TJ Sapp did a good job of sliding his body over, but Campaign reached in to get the foul.
Foul number 2 on Payne. Lob pass comes to Johnson. It's a handoff to Isaiah Jones. Back to Johnson. He faces up on Farrell, drives it in on him. And on the baseline, he stepped out of bounds. That's good D by Farrell.
Jonathan Farrell held his own as Nino Johnson give a hard dribble into the paint. Farrell took it against the chest, and Johnson dribbled it off his leg.
Far sideline, it is Sapp. He'll dribble out top. Comes near side to Moss. Back to the far side. Sapp deep on the wing. Payne looks for the lob to Williams. Instead, drives in the paint. Puts it up. Missed. Reach-in foul is going to be called on Southeast Missouri. A couple of words exchanged there, but the officials and the players actually took care of it themselves. It'll be Calvin with a foul. It'll be his second.
Campaign driving hard there to the basket. Took a shot pretty hard there, Neil. And you know what happens when you wake up the man with the S on his chest. You know, he usually responds very well when defenders try to get physical with him, push him around a little bit. That usually elevates his focus on the offensive end.
First free throw good. He has another one coming. Chance to close down to 3, and he does. 45-42. Payne with 13 points. He leads the Racers. Cleveland leading the Redhawks with 14. They have the ball. Behind the back dribble, Jones goes right side to Cleveland. He tries to get to the right elbow, loses it momentarily, recovers, finds Johnson, gets it back near the big Red Hawk head at midcourt. Tries to get past Sapp. Can't. Drives. Forced it. Blocked by Payne. Picked up by Farrell, but he couldn't hang on before he lost it out of bounds with 10 on the shot clock.
Campaign playing in the gap that Coach Prone talks about, and that's being in that help side position. He was able to come up and get a block on that.
Redhawks will have it. The trigger man will be Wallace. Right corner 3. Jones missed it. Rebound Payne tips it to Moss. Now to Sapp up the right sideline. Lob for the alley-oop, and it's touched up and in by Williams.
Smart play by Jarvis Williams. He got caught a couple of feet away from the basket. Instead of trying to dunk it, he just caught it and laid it in.
45-44, Rangers within a point. Wallace out high. Payne on him. Got to be careful. He has 2. Don't want to pick up a third. Good crossover. Knocked away by Sapp, but they're going to call Sapp for the third foul as he batted the ball away. They said he got him on the wrist. So he's the first Ranger with more than 2. Non-shooting foul. It'll go to Southeast Missouri.
TJ Sapp and Campaign applying a lot of pressure, Neil, on the perimeter of Southeast Missouri.
Sapp pleads his case with the official. He lets him have his say. He was very respectful about it. The official told him what he saw, and they play on. Sapp knocked it away. Nearly had a steal there, but didn't have the angle to deflect it in bounds. So it's out of bounds to Southeast Missouri. 17-19 left in the game. Racers trailing by 1. SEMO's led 13-13 of the game. The Racers have led 3-15 of it. Out top, Wallace. Off to the right side to Isaiah Jones. Bounce Mid-block extended. Johnson tries to back down Farrell. Throws it out high to Adeoye. Now left side. Wallace knocks it away. Payne went for the steal. Wallace drives left side. Cleveland for three, and it rims out. But Johnson rebounds, went up for the shot, had it stripped away. And if that's on Sapp, that's 4, and it is.
Racer foul, number 22.
So that's a big one there.
Big foul against the Racers. Neil, is TJ Sapp is the best defender on this Racer team and is going to go to the bench with 4 fouls for a long time.
Nino Johnson was the player in a lot of foul trouble at Murray. He didn't play much. But he gets 2 here. He's made 2 free throws despite the fact that he's a 50% free throw shooter, but that one rims off.
For the Redhawks, number 23.
So he was doing this. Seymour in, Sapp out.
For the Racers, number 23.
And Bradley comes in for Aaron Adeoye. Nino Johnson already with 10. Second free throw in the air. That one's good. 46-44, but the Racers will play a starter down for a long time as Jeffrey Moss has it. Moss with 4 points. The only player with a 3 in the game for the Racers. Payne as he tries to cross his center stripe. He's fouled by Wallace, his first. Number 2 on the Redhawks for the half. 4 whistled against the Racers. Moss will trigger. Near side out of bounds. He finds Payne just inside the midcourt stripe. He dribbles. Throws left side to Seymour. Looks for the skip. Instead throws out high to Farrell. On the right wing, it's Payne. Drives for the step back 15-footer, and he hit it.
That's a tough shot right there by Cam Payne. Very aggressive, going hard to the baseline and hitting the pull-up 15-footer.
We're tied at 46. Payne with 15. What a hook pass in there to Johnson. He goes up and drew the foul. If it's on Farrell, that will be his second. And it is number 2 on Farrell.
Nino Johnson is such a load in the paint. He got the ball in and got Farrell off his heels with a ball fake and then was able to draw the foul, Neil.
He will shoot 2. First one is up and rattles in. He has that high arch on his shot like Wayne Langston does and shoots him a little better than Wayne, who's down to 38%. Nino at 50%, but today he is at 4 of 5. That was a miss. Farrell rebounds. Off to Payne. Racers down 1. Top of the key. It goes inside. Williams missed it. And Johnson the rebound. Off the side of the rim. Jones has it for Southeast Missouri. Up the right sideline as we hit the 16-minute mark up against the media timeout. Pass right side, Bradley through 2 defenders, and we'll get a foul called against the Racers. Not in the act of shooting. 15:55 to go, and that'll be Moss with the foul, his second. Redhawks ball when we come back out of the timeout. SEMO leading 47-46. Back in a minute on the Racers Sports Network.
16 fouls already on the Racers in the first 4 minutes and 5 seconds of the second half. So the Racers are going to have to keep this defense ramped up, Neil, but be able to move your feet and play without reaching. As Southeast Missouri is going to be in the bonus the whole second half now.
Inside, shot up, no. Tipped up and in for Nino Johnson, and it is good. Johnson with the bucket, 49-46. Payne on the far side. To the top, it's Jeffrey Moss. Moss back to Payne. On the wing, whistle away from the ball, Jarikus Bradley. Riding Williams a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, it was. Jarvis Williams had low post position, and Bradley got on his back, fouling him, trying to get around in the post.
Racers 50% in the half, the 25% for SEMO. Pass in the corner comes to Payne. He drives inside. I don't know how he got that one to go up, but he missed the shot anyway. And Cleveland with the rebound. Redhawks by 3. Wallace crosses the center stripe. Throws it right side to Cleveland. Cleveland now to the mid-block. Extended. Bradley fires it out to Jones. Rejects the 3. Drives in. Shoots it. And it comes back to himself. That's got to be a walk, and it is. He was begging for a foul.
Jeffrey Moss being very physical without fouling, moving his feet, did a nice job defending and cutting off that baseline and forcing the turnover.
5th turnover against Southeast Missouri. The Racers guilty of 7, but none in this half. 49-46 Redhawks. 15:03 to go. Pass to the left side, finds Moss. Down low, Payne in the corner. Battle for it as the players tie it up on the floor. Is there a foul or a jump ball call? I'm completely blocked out.
I don't know. Campaign dove on the pile. I have a feeling the official's going to come out of there with the foul called.
I believe you're right. Foul on Payne. That'll be his third.
Wallace was on the floor. Campaign went down to get on the floor as well. When he did, he came over the back of Wallace.
Wallace to the line, a 65% free throw shooter, but here's the bad news. They're already in the bonus 5 minutes in to the second half. And of all the fouls, there's one on Payne that I maybe disagree with when Cleveland had it. The rest of them, I think we all committed them. Don't really have a question about it. Free throw is up and good from Wallace. Payne's going to come out with that third foul, and Southeast Missouri pushes a lead to 50-46. So Payne on the bench with 3. Sapp on the bench with 4. Flomo in. Free throw up and good. 9 points for Wallace. 51-46. This is a really dangerous part of the game for Murray State. Hidrick Flomo between the circles. Finds Seymour. Open for a brief look. Down to Moss. Moss 3. Hits the side of the rim. Bounce over the backboard. It's out of bounds to Southeast Missouri.
Neil, we've talked about through the year that there was going to come a point in conference play on the road that foul trouble would come in, creep into the Racers, and Kedrick Flomo would have to play valuable minutes. These are critical minutes for him in the point guard position.
Cleveland on the right side with his back to Seymour. Bounces it out high to Bradley. Now to the left side, Jones inside. Shot up no good. We'll get a foul against the Racers. Seymour, I believe it's a non-shooting foul.
Racer foul, number 23, Justin Seymour, his first. Team foul number 8.
It is 1-1 though, but it's not in the act of shooting. So Cleveland to the line for the 1-1.
Shoots 1-1.
Racers got to box out on the free throw line here, as Cleveland is not a great free throw shooter.
Cleveland has hit both today, but 51% on the season. Takes his time, dribbles, shoots, hits it. He's looked solid on all of them today.
He has. You know, the Racers will remember Cleveland in here last year in the double overtime game, as he was outstanding scoring the basketball against the Racers last year.
Second one is up, and it is also good. Redhawks making them at a great rate, 53-46, within one of their biggest lead. 14-24. Flomo has it near the mid-stripe. Dribbles right side, hits Moss. Down to Williams. He's double-teamed, reached in and fouled him. It'll be the Racers' ball on the baseline on the personal.
Racers going to the paint, trying to get Jarvis Williams some touches in the paint right now with TJ Sapp and Campaign both on the bench in foul trouble.
First foul for Cleveland. Moss in the right corner, catch and shoot 3. Seymour left it short. Farrell rebounds on the floor once, goes up, missed the shot, drew the contact. If that's on Cleveland, that'll be his second, and it is. But no one in foul trouble for SEMO except for J.T. Jones, who's a walk-on with 3 fouls.
Jonathan Farrell aggressively going to the offensive glass. Now he's got to be able to convert those at the free throw line.
He's made 1 of 2 so far today. That one no good. At the line, each team had hit 9 of 11 before that miss. 82%, and for each team that was well above their season average. Second for Farrell, looking for point number 8. It's money. 53-47. 14-10 to go. Sapp on the bench with 4 fouls. Payne on the bench with 3. Redhawks with the ball. Wallace out top. Throws into the corner to Cleveland. Gets it back to the right side to Isaiah Jones. Guarded by Moss. Jones pulls up. Kind of a bad shot there. 15-footer. Missed it. Rebound pulled down by Farrell. He finds Flomo in traffic. He'll drive right side and has it picked out. And then Flomo is called for the trip after Wallace stole the ball from him.
Kedrick Flomo got a little bit of a hurry in transition there, trying to make a play. Senior Jonathan Farrell coming over to rub him on the head and say, it's okay. We don't need you to win the game, Kedrick. We need you to just manage the game while you're in. Take care of the basketball, find the open man, play good, solid defense.
1-1 here after this. It's the double bonus for the rest of the night for Southeast Missouri, and we're still at the 13:42 mark. 54-47. If Wallace connects here, it will equal the biggest lead of the night for the Redhawks, and he does. 11 for Wallace. His fourth game this season in double digits and his third in a row. 13:38 and ticking. 55-47. Flomo inside the midcourt stripe. Finds Seymour at the top. Left side Moss. Back to Seymour. Seymour tries to find his rhythm for a shot. Can't do it. And as he goes inside to Williams, we'll get a reach-around foul called against Jerikas Bradley. Number 3 on him.
Bradley's having a tough time covering Jarvis Williams on the low block. If the Racers can continue to go back to the well, trying to get the ball to Jarvis Williams in the post.
That's 6 against Seymour. We've had 15 fouls called in the first few minutes here. Seymour make it 16, and Seymour will go to the line as Wallace tried to intercept it, and he fouled him. So let's see, we played 6.5 minutes, and we've had 16 fouls called.
The free throw line can be the great equalizer in games like this sometimes, Neil. If the Racers can get to the line and convert, keep driving that ball to the basket and get to the free throw line, but they got to convert them.
Seymour misses, but Farrell rebounds, finds Seymour for 3, and he hit it. They needed that one. After the miss from Seymour, now the Racers have cut it to 5, 55-50. Seymour 0 of 2 from the charity stripe. Pass to the left side. It goes to Jones, faced up on Moss. He finds Johnson at the top of the key. You know, Johnson guarded by Williams, dribbles once, hands it to Cleveland, and we're going to get a foul called against Jarvis Williams. Again, those are the kind of fouls usually you'll see they'll let those slide. It had nothing to do with the ball, but there's the whistle. It'll be 2 free throws for the Redhawks. Second foul on Williams.
Be interesting to see how long Coach Prohm keeps Campaign on the bench over there, if he'll try to get through this media timeout at the 12-minute mark.
Free throw missed by Cleveland. Well, folks, if you like free throw shooting, if that's what you come to see, you'll enjoy the final 12:55 of this one. Because I have a feeling at this rate, 17 fouls in 8 minutes, we're going to have a bunch of free throws. Next one rattles out. 2 misses by Cleveland, and Williams rebounds. Racers down 5. Flomo out top. Looks for the handoff to Seymour. On the far sideline. Seymour crossover dribble. Hands it to Flomo. Being hawked out there by Isaiah Jones. Sees an opening. Jump pass. It is deflected. Chased down by Moss. Moss will drive inside. He's double teamed and gets it to Williams. And a timeout. I think Steve Prohm just didn't like the look, the way that was shaping up.
And I think a great move as the Racers were in trouble in the double team.
There'll be 7 on the shot clock when we come back out of the timeout. But this will give us an opportunity to remind you that Sirloin Stockade is a pregame favorite for all your Racer teams, offering an all-you-can-eat hot and cold buffet, which includes hot entrees, vegetables, and salads. The full-service bakery includes fresh rolls, pies, cakes, and soft-serve ice cream with a variety of toppings. At Sirloin Stockade, just look for the Big Cow on South 12th Street. Other games across the Ohio Valley Conference, Martin's in a dogfight at home as Austin P leads the Skyhawks 44-43, 12-13 left in the game there. Edwardsville on top of East Illinois 16-7, 13-10 left in the first half. Later on, it'll be Tech at Jacksonville State, Eastern Kentucky at Tennessee State, and probably the big game of the day in the other division, no doubt about that. Morehead State on top of Belmont at the half, 27-25. Kenny.
The Racers are fighting back here, Neil, and really held their own there with an opportunity with the ball here, and Campaign checking back in with those 3 fouls. Kedrick Flomo led the Racers during the time he was out and was a little shaky at times, but the Racers have been able to hang tight with their defense and rebounding, and now the Racers have got to be able to keep attacking that basket. The officials are calling the fouls. If you're attacking the basket, you've got to be able to drive, get fouled, but be strong with the ball.
Deshaun and James, 20 points, 10 rebounds earlier today as the Racer women lost 88-66 here to Southeast Missouri. That loss eliminates them from the Ohio Valley Conference tournament, so they will not be in the tournament. That eliminates them from being eligible for it, I should say. Moss gets it to Seymour. Turnaround 18-footer, rims out, tipped out by Williams to Farrell. By the way, Payne back in at the dead ball. 12-16 and ticking. The shot did get rimmed. Payne will drive in, gets a bump, goes up with a one-hand shot. He missed it. And on the rebound, it's going to be Jonathan Farrell whistled for his third personal.
Jonathan Farrell doing a good job attacking that glass. Campaign got up, spin move in the lane. A normal floater that he makes day after day. Bounced off, and Farrell was aggressively going after that ball on the offensive glass and got the foul.
Free throws 17 and 18 of the game for Southeast Missouri. And at the line is Johnson. He's hit 4 of 6. That one rattles in. That pushes the lead back to 6 with 12:09 to go. The Racers going to have to find a way on a day when they are really just not shooting at all well from 3 line. 2 for 12. Second one up and good. 57-50. Redhawks within one of their biggest lead. 12:06 remaining. Payne on the right wing. Looks to Moss. Moss finds Seymour. Back to Moss. He's open from 17. Got it.
Big bucket from Jeffrey Moss to take some of that scoring pressure off of Payne and Seymour and Jarvis Williams.
First point to the half for Moss. He has 6. 57-52. Handoff goes to Cleveland. Cleveland finds Jones. Ball fake. Drives around his defender. Jump pass finds Cleveland. Throws up a prayer. It rattles no good. And Payne rebounds. In traffic. Tries to push his way into a transition bucket. Now he'll back it out and set the offense. Guarded by Wallace. He wants Moss to come up. Moss catches it. Looks for Seymour. Thought of shooting it. Fans wanted to walk. His foot never left the floor. I was right there watching it. The official saw exactly what I did, about 4 feet closer. Seymour at 3 range on the far side. Spins, got in the air, drew the foul. Got bailed out there between you and I, Kenny.
Yeah, he did. He was in a spin move, which is not his best offensive weapon, but now gets to go to the free throw line. And this is where the Racers have to convert on a night that they're not shooting the basketball well.
11:08 to go. Seymour at the line when we come back out of this timeout. 57-52 SEMO. This is the Racers Sports Network. Justin Seymour at the line, spinning in the lane to make a shot, so they said he was in the act of shooting. And he'll shoot 2 here. That one's up and good. He had missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s before making that one. Seymour with 4 points all in this half. 57-53, 11:08 to go. The next one, airborne and good.
The Racers clawing back, Neil, hanging in there with that defense and getting to the free throw line and converting.
They've held Seymour to 25% shooting in the half, but they're living at the line. Pass to the left side goes to Bradley. Deep, looks for rhythm for a 3, doesn't have it. Finds Wallace in the lane, hooks it up and in. Marcus Wallace, 13 points. Payne has it on the right sideline, 59-54. Redhawks by 5. Moss has it at the point. Looks left for Seymour at the left elbow. He's guarded by Jones, and Payne tries to drive past Wallace. He gets fouled. That's the 9th. This will be the final 1-and-1 of the night for Campaign.
Campaign aggressively coming off that screen and then driving the ball, looking to score. He's so good at drawing fouls and selling it to the officials, but there was plenty of contact there.
Now Wallace with 3. Wallace, Jones, Bradley with 3 each as Payne hits the free throw. He's hit 5 of 5 tonight. Has another one coming. He can draw the Racers to within 3 with 10:32 to go. Murray hasn't led in this half. Trailed by 5 at halftime. Trailed by as many as 8. That one's good. 17 for Campaign. 59-56. Neither team making threes. 3 of 12 for SEMO. 2 of 12 for the Racers. Right side, it's Cleveland. It's a screen from Bradley. Doesn't use it to shoot. Goes left side to Jones. And a pushing foul called on Williams as the ball went into Johnson. And that's number 4 on Williams.
Three on Williams. Yeah.
So the only player with 4 is Sapp, and he's been over there since the 16:54 mark. And to the line is Johnson. He's been uncharacteristically good today, but that one rims off. He was 6 of 8 before that one. And when you can get 75% shooting from a 50% shooter, you're doing good.
You got to be pleased with that. The Racers have to box out.
Second one is good. Well, that's what you expect from Johnson, is to make 1 of 2, and he did. 60-56. Murray can get a little closer on this trip. Payne across the stripe at the 10-10 mark. Gets instructions from Steve Prohm across the way. Payne finds Seymour at the top. Looks to the right corner. Moss for 3. Missed it, but drew a foul, and he'll go to the line for 3. And if Moss hits as usual, that's about like making a 3.
It is, and he was bumped in midair there. Poor decision by Jones there, a foul on the three-point shot. Southeast Missouri showed the hybrid zone, Neil, that they go to some with a 2-3 look with some man-to-man principles in it. And Jeff Moss got loose in the corner, and they had to rush at him and foul him when they did.
Moss 2 of 2 today. That one up and good. He started with no time on the clock. He made 2. If you're just tuning in, an administrative technical against SEMO for hanging on the rim during warm-ups. Not allowed once the officials get on the court. Moss, the 2nd of 3, is in the air. It rims out.
For the Redhawks, number 11, Marcus Wallace.
60-57. He could close the gap to 2 if he can make 1 here. So now JT Jones checks out, and Wallace is back in. He's playing with 3 fouls. 7 points for Moss. That one's up and good. He makes 2 of 3. 60-58. Just under 10 minutes to go in the game. Wallace will bring it across the stripe. Racer fans encouraged by what they've seen. Backs it out. Dribbles between the circles. Crosses. Spins. Shoots. A crazy shot. Missed. Rebound by Williams of the Racers. Off to Payne. Murray can tie or take the lead with a bomb. Payne looks out top, gets a screen. 3 for the lead. It rims out, and it's tipped to Williams by Farrell. Good tip out. Couldn't grab it, but did the next best thing. Racers have the ball. Fresh shot clock. 9:20 to go. Payne just holds the ball, staring at his defender. Waits for a screen from Williams. Goes the other way. Lobs it for Williams. He catches. Goes up for the shot. Len, it's an air ball. Taken away by Farrell. Up and no good on the rebound. Tipped by Farrell to Williams. Stuffed it in. We're tied at 60.
Jonathan Farrell keeping that ball alive twice. And then Jarvis Williams coming up with the loose ball. And these Racer fans are here in force going crazy.
Tons of contact on both sides, but they just let everything go all of a sudden right there, didn't they, Kenny?
I kept thinking that it was a whistle that I didn't hear as bodies were flying everywhere. Jonathan Farrell's tape got ripped off his finger. Looked like a couple of teeth were laying down there. I don't know. It was chaos in the paint, but the Racers came out with the basket.
Timeout taken by Southeast Missouri now that we're deadlocked at 60 at the 8:53 mark of the ball game. Racers led by Payne 17, Williams 14, Moss 10, Johnson 19 for Southeast Missouri. Nino Johnson 16 and 13 for Wallace as he steps across the stripe in a dead heat. Top of the key, pass left side. On the wing, Jones finds Johnson at the point, bounces it to Cleveland. He dribbles once, finds Wallace, right elbow to Johnson. Looked for the jumper, decided not to shoot it. Jarikus Bradley does, and he nails it from 18.
Wayne Langston in the game for Farrell and immediately has to cover Jarkeus Bradley.
That's the first points of the game for Jarekus Bradley. 62-60 the score as Payne steps across the center stripe. Payne at the top of the key, looks for Moss, finds it, catches it, looks for Seymour. Open for a heartbeat, but a good close job there by Cleveland. Now Payne has it. Payne takes it in the paint, puts the shot up, rattles no good, tip no good. Williams crashed to the floor as he was going for the rebound and no call. Well, they were calling it pretty close for a while. Now they're not. Redhawks with the ball up 2. 7:47 to go, up against the media timeout. Wallace throws left, finds Jones. He jacks up a 3, missed it. Bad decision. Payne rebounds, finds Moss streaking to the other end, lays it up, missed it, and on the rebound, it is saved inbounds by the Redhawks. Racers miss a golden opportunity at the other end and just blew the layup. And then didn't get the rebound. 7:18 and ticking. Wallace between the circles. The pace of the free throw shooting is slowed down, so I guess that part's good. Spin by Jones to get away from Moss. Finds Bradley for 3. Hit it. Jarekus Bradley had been silent, but back-to-back buckets, and the Redhawks are up 5 with under 7 minutes remaining. Payne to Moss at the top of the key. Looks for Seymour and has it. Faces up on Cleveland. And we get a whistle as Payne tried to curl around to the other side. This will be the 4th foul on Wallace and send Payne to the line for 2 free throws when we come back out of the timeout. 6:46 to go. The Redhawks up 65-60. Back after this on the Racer Sports Network. Cam Payne will be at the line for free throws. Kenny, what adjustments have the Racers made here in the second half that you can see?
On the offensive end, Neil, the Racers are getting the ball out of Cam Payne's hands once across half court and able to run him off some of the low screens that normally you see Jeffrey Moss and TJ Sapp being run off of. So it doesn't put so much pressure on Payne having to create from the top of the key. He's able to catch it on the wing or in the lane and then being able to try to get to the basket.
Payne shooting 2, but he misses the first of 2. But that's his first miss of the night. He'd hit 6 straight. In this half, the Racers only shooting 32%. They're holding SEMO to 39%. That one rolls round and round the rim, but it stays in, and Payne gets the point. 65-61 the score, 18 for Payne. On the right side, Calvin finds Bradley, who suddenly has a hot hand. Now to J.T. Jones. Looks left, throws right. Bradley at the top. Tries to work on Williams. Shoots a 3 in his face and hit it.
Bradley he's a volume shooter where he plays by feel, Neil, and he's feeling it right now, and that's not good for the Racers.
68-61. 6-10. 7-point lead for the Redhawks. Payne tries to answer with a 3, and he left it short. A tough night for the Racers. 2 for 14 behind the arc. Redhawks have the ball. They could have their biggest lead of the night if they score a field goal on this trip, and you can bet they're looking for Jarekus Bradley, who has nailed 7 straight. Make it 8 straight points. Pass to the right side. Jones to the left. Looks for Bradley. Finds him. Dials up another 3. Hit it. 11 points for Jarekus Bradley, and the Racers are going to have to take a timeout with 5:32 to go. The lead has gone to 10, and before the Racers can get a timeout, we get a foul called against Southeast Missouri.
Jarekus Bradley hit that one, Neil, at least 3 steps behind the 3-point line, maybe 4 steps. He was almost touching the paint of the Hawk at midcourt and just pulled up and shot right in Jonathan Farrell's face. What range he has.
Payne to shoot 2. First one's good. Seymour will come back in. Sapp is also back in the game now. 5:28 left. The Racers have a comeback in them at Southeast Missouri. They've done it here before as a program, but can this team do it? Second one by Payne is good. 71-63. Southeast Missouri had just had their biggest lead of the game. Bounce to the right side goes to Cleveland. They're feeling it right now. Cleveland drives past Seymour, but Seymour picked up the foul. It'll send Cleveland to the line for a pair of free throws. Seymour's second foul.
The line for the Redhawks, number 4, Antonius Cleveland with 2.
Cleveland has hit 4 of 6, but he missed his last 2. The Redhawks just knocked off Martin in here in a convincing fashion. And they're up 8 down the Racers. These were the teams picked 1 and 2 in the OVC West. Free throw good by Cleveland. So really no surprise if you, at the start of the season, thought this would be a big game. But right now the surprise is how poor a record SEMO has and how well they're playing right now. Both free throws good by Cleveland. Back to a 10-point lead. And the Racers have it. 73-63, 5:13 to ticket. Bain across the stripe. Leaves it for Moss. Drives for the floater. It rattles in. Timeout taken by Coach Steve Prohm. Will this allow him to set up a press, or what will he do here?
I think what Coach Prohm wants to do now is just remind the team there's 5 minutes left in this game. We're not going to come back with a home run. It needs to be singles and doubles and just keep playing, keep defending, keep driving the basketball and get to the free throw line. But jumping up right now and taking three-pointers is not the answer. I'm sure he's reminding them also that Jerikas Bradley cannot catch the basketball. You've got to go in a complete denial against him, which is difficult to do when he's involved with a ball screen. But Jeffrey Moss, it looks like he's taking him. He's wanting to guard him for a while. Let's see if he can do something because TJ Sapp has got 4 fouls.
Right. Well, he's a hot hand. He's scored their last 4 field goals. Cleveland broke a stretch of 11 straight points scored by Bradley by making the 2 free throws. And here is the pressure by the Racers. Pass comes to Bradley, though, and he catches it. Gets past Moss, and he goes up for the shot that is fouled. And he is one of the top free throw shooters in the country. He's in the top 10 and the OVC leader in free throw percentage.
Jerikas Bradley is so physical, 6'5", 225, 230, that he just drove Jeffrey Moss all the way in the lane, and Moss finally had to foul him.
And he missed the free throw. How about that? 91% shooter. Well, the Racers, that's about as much a break as you can hope there that he misses 1. Isaiah Jones back in, and J.T. Jones checks out. Second one by Jerikas Bradley is good. 74-65. Now Southeast Missouri will use some full court pressure, but they back it off rather quickly once they guard the inbounds. And Payne will bring it across under 5 minutes to go. The lead 9 for the Redhawks. Payne drives in the paint. Goes up, missed the shot, drew the foul. It'll get Payne to the line for a pair of free throws where he has hit 9 of 10 tonight.
Campaign able to drive the defender wherever he chooses, Neil, and then able to rise up and be able to get a shot off, and so good at drawing fouls when he's in the air.
4th foul on Calvin. Wallace, Calvin, and J.T. Jones with 4 fouls each. The Racers have only 1 player with 4, and that's Sapp. Payne hits the first of 2. He's hit 10 of 11. 11 of 12 as that one goes through. 74-67 with 4:50 to go. Did the Racers dig out of a 10-point hole and claim an outright OVC championship? Redhawks have it. Jamal Calvin looks left side and gets it to Bradley. Bradley with a handoff to Cleveland. Looks with a weave out top. They're eating a little clock while they're doing this. This is a little by design, too. Pass goes to Cleveland on the wing. Cleveland tries to get past Seymour, can't do it. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Finds Jerikas Bradley. He traveled with it. Handed him the ball, and then he hurt his ankle as he's grabbing his right ankle. I don't know if he just turned it or sprained it, but he's injured, Kenny.
He got caught in a double team as the Racers did a good job of on the handoff, doubling him, and he's down in pain. Right ankle looks like he's hurting bad.
Well, they're going to bring the training staff out and have a look at Jerikas Bradley. While they do, we'll give you an update on the OVC scoreboard. Martin has come from behind. They lead Austin Peay 62-58 with 1:21 left in the game. SIU Edwardsville pulling away from Eastern Illinois, 41-23 with 2:57 remaining in that one. Belmont has gone ahead of Morehead State, 43-42 with 8:37 to go in the game. Tennessee Tech at Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks up 9-6, 12:18 left in the first half. And tipping a little later will be Eastern Kentucky at Tennessee State. And Bradley is limping off. You can tell it isn't a bad sprain, or he wouldn't be able to limp. But I would say his return is uncertain at best. Is that what you'd term it?
Yeah, I think so too. He doesn't look like he can put much weight on it at all. So that certainly changes things for the offensive firepower for Southeast Missouri. But the Racers still have to defend.
And they're still down 7. That's the thing. Payne flips it to Sapp. Catch and shoot 3. Rims out. Seymour knocked down from behind by Jones. The official nailed that one. That's Isaiah Jones' second. It sends Seymour to the line with a chance to cut it to 5.
Once again, the Racers want to be patient offensively. Get something good going to the basket. TJ Sapp jumped up, took a contested 3 there, and Justin Seymour bailed him out running down the loose ball.
Free throw good by Seymour after missing his first 2. He's made 3 in a row. It'd be different if it's a night when he's burying them, but he hadn't made one tonight, Kenny. He's 0 for 4.
And he's been on the bench for so long, Neil, to be able to come back into the game and jump up and shoot the ball is difficult.
Sapp makes the next one. Seymour makes the next one. 74-69. A 10-point lead has been cut to 5. 4:06 remaining. Across the stripe, Wallace. Guarded by Farrell. Gives it up right side to Jones. Gets a screen from Nino Johnson. Drives around it. Throws right side to J.J. Jones. Left side to Cleveland. He'll drive the paint. Puts up a 16-footer. Missed it. Seymour got him. He'll go to the line for 2. Third foul on Seymour. That gets us to our final media timeout of the night. Free throws for the Redhawks. They lead 74-69. Back after this on the Racer Sports Network. 53 free throws combined shot. 74-69 the score, and Southeast Missouri about to shoot 2 more with 3:48 to go. They're on top by 5 and a chance to add to it. Has to be smart basketball for the rest of the way here.
You do, and I think both coaches would agree that the game has been called equally. You know, it's not like that it's been lopsided in any way. Just a lot of fouls being called.
21 against SEMO, 20 against the Racers. And so it's been, that part's been even. It's been a little inconsistent. For a while they were calling a lot of stuff. Then they went through about a 5-minute period where nothing was called, both ways. But that's part of basketball. You got to adjust. Cleveland misses the free throw. He is a 51% shooter, and here comes Bradley back in. So whatever issue he had must have been a turn ankle. And I know they can do a tape job that can help that along, and that's probably what they did. It may be sore tomorrow, but he's going to tough it out here. Next one from Antonius Cleveland is in the air and good. He hits 1 of 2. 2-possession game with 3:47 to go, 75-69. Payne with it. Leaves it for Seymour, deflected out of bounds by Jerikas Bradley. The Racers have it with 27 on the shot clock and 3:40 to go. Moss to trigger right in front of the Racer bench. 2 for 15 from 3 range for the Racers. Best 3-point shooting team in the league. Can't buy one tonight. Payne, long distance 3. He hit it from 25.
Southeast Missouri, both defenders looked down as the screen was coming, and Campaign just shot it straight up. That was 2 steps behind the line, Neil.
75-72, a 3-point game. Wallace gets past Payne for the layup, and Payne made him pay for it, picked up the foul. That's going to be 4 on Payne, but had he not fouled him, it would have been a bucket. I don't know, which would you rather have there, Kenny?
Yeah, it's difficult to get that 4th foul, especially the way Campaign plays, driving the basketball, sometimes using that offhand to be able to push defenders away, but it saved the basket.
But he can hit the free throws and get them back. That's the bad part. And there's 1, so it may be for naught. It's a 4-point lead for the Redhawks. Bradley's going to come out. He's still limping a little bit. Actually, he's not coming out. He's going to the back court. Next one in the air. It is good. So Payne's foul did more harm than good, really. Now he has to be very careful. 77-72. Moss will bring it up. 3:10 remaining. 25 points for Payne. Will they look for him? Moss finds Payne. Bounces it to him in the lane. Puts the runner up. Missed it, but drew contact. He'll go to the line for free throws, and Cleveland has picked up his third foul.
The Racers have gone small, Neil, with Jonathan Farrell in the post, Jarvis Williams to the bench, and 4 guards, and running campaign off of the ball. TJ Sapp handled the point guard responsibilities, get into that offensive set. Cam came off the curl, caught the ball in the lane, and got fouled.
Payne missed the free throw. Had a chance to cut it to a 3-point game if he could make 2, but he missed the first. He's had a great night, though, 11 of 13. Second one is in the air. It is good. 77-73, 2:57 left. Southeast Missouri has led 27 minutes and 3 seconds of this game. Pass off to the right side. It goes to Jones. Jones inside Jerikas Bradley drives, shovels across the lane, and will get a foul. If it's on Payne, he's done. And he is fouled out of the game with 2:42 to go, and the Racers down 4. 26 points go to the bench.
Campaign got caught on the weak side, having to come and help Neil, and came over and just reached in. Couldn't tell how much skin he had, but obviously the officials felt like he did.
Well, the Racers have a certain amount of time to get the substitute in there, but Payne is out. But I can remember another time, years ago, Marcus Brown was sitting on the bench, and his teammates rallied to pull out a miracle win. Could we duplicate that?
Well, it'd be nice. On a different side of the floor this time, Neil, than I was for that game. But the Racers, I think, offensively will be okay. They just got to keep defending, keep rebounding, and there's still a lot of time left with only a 4-point deficit.
Nino Johnson at the line has made 7 of 10 free throws. That one's good. And remember, Nino's a 50% free throw shooter, and he's hitting it above 70% tonight. Redhawks have raised their level, not just in this game, but in the Martin game. They're over a 3-game stretch. They're really terrific. Next one is up. No good. Farrell rebound. Racers can make up with some ground here. 78-73. Comes to Moss. Shoots from 18 and hits it. Racers get one back. 78-75. One possession game. 2:32 to go. And now Campaign chief cheerleader the across the way. Top of the key, Wallace. Finds Bradley. Open for 3. Decided not to take one that deep. Jonathan Farrell says, come get me. He decides not to. Now to Wallace. Farrell guards Wallace. Looks for Bradley. Can't find him. 10 on the shot clock. 2:08 to go. Jones drives in. Ball lost. Didn't see what happened. They lost it out of bounds. Racers going to have it with a chance to tie.
Looked like the Racers defending, and it wasn't Bradley. Someone went to the baseline, dribbled off their leg down there, so the Racers have the ball.
Apologize. We're just blocked out sometimes. 3 or 4 players get in front of us. Couldn't see what happened. Murray the ball and a chance to tie with a bomb. Moss to Seymour. Right side, corner 3 to tie from Sapp. He hit it, and we're tied at 78. The first 3 of the night for Sapp. 1:42 and ticking in timeout, Southeast Missouri, and the big cheerleader coming out is number 1 Campaign with a chest bump at Jonathan Farrell. He's not sitting over there moping, Kenny.
No, he's not. He is in tune. He's the unpaid assistant coach over there right now, and cheerleader, trainer, whatever he needs to be. And you see this leadership come from the seniors, TJ Sapp and Jonathan Farrell and Jarvis Williams. They're not going to go down with a fight in here tonight, Neil. As you remember a year ago, the Racers had the same opportunity to come away with a tie for the conference championship, and were unable to pull it off. With Isaiah Cannon in the stands watching, and a great crowd from Murray. Almost 2 full sections of people in the blue and gold cheering on the Racers, trying to will them to a comeback.
Racers were down 10 at the 5:50 mark, 71-61. Since then, a 17-7 run. The Redhawks have the ball. We're tied. They get a stop. They could take the lead. But right now, it's in the court of Southeast Missouri. Left side, Isaiah Jones. Jones with a dribble out top. Gets a screen. Throws to Cleveland. In front of his own bench. 13 on the shot clock. Out top to Jones. 10 on the shot clock. Jones guarded by Seymour. Out top. 7 on the shot clock. Drives in. Put it up. And it rattles in. Redhawks up 80-78 with 1:12 to go. Sapp has the ball for the Racers on the right sideline. Hand off to Seymour. Seymour finds Moss. Moss gets it to Sapp. Sapp lost the ball, brought it down, dives in to try to tie it up, and the arrow goes to the Racers. What a great job by Sapp. I didn't know how he was going to get it without fouling it, Kenny.
Yeah, I think when Cleveland rolled back over, gave Sapp an opportunity for their beat of the jump ball as opposed to calling a foul.
So now it's the Racers' ball on the arrow. Now the arrow goes back to Southeast Missouri.
And a new shot clock as well.
It's timeout situation. Racers have 2. Southeast Missouri 3. And Moss will trigger. 58 seconds to go. 80-78. Racers haven't led 1 second of this half after trailing by 5. Moss finds Seymour. Jumper for the tie. Rattles off. Redhawks rebound. Cleveland gets it. Good look for Seymour from about 12. It just didn't go in. About a 20-second clock differential. Racers need to get a stop here. Jones left side to Wallace. Wallace to the top. Curls by Sapp, who can't foul him. Drives in, throws up a prayer, and it rattles in. He just threw up a prayer. It goes in. Sapp, coast to coast, put it up. No, but drew the contact. He'll go to the line for 2 with the Racers down 82-78. 26 seconds to go.
Wallace jumped up in the air on the other end in the lane, turned his back to the basket, and threw it up over his shoulder, and it banked in. Just a circus shot that went down for Southeast Missouri.
Sapp at the line. Hasn't tried a free throw tonight on the season. 82%. That one's good. 10 points for Sapp. He set a lot of this time out. 16:54 of the second half, picked up his 4th foul. Next one in the air, it's good. Sapp with 2 huge free throws. 26 seconds to go, it's 82-80. And now the shot clock's off, Kenny. So any sort of special strategy here?
I think the Racers will come out with their smaller defending team. Well, no, probably not. Probably stay with Williams and Farrell in the post and try to get Cleveland to be the open man so that they can foul him. The Racers have to foul here down 2 as Southeast Missouri doesn't have to shoot the ball. You want to go ahead and foul early enough to leave yourself some time and try to extend the game, but you want to make sure that Bradley's not touching the ball. For certain, Bradley, he's a 90-plus free throw shooter, and make either Cleveland beat you or Wallace, the freshman guard.
A 20-game winning streak on the line. The Racers 22-4, unblemished in the OVC. Running the table in the league. It's only been done 3 times by 2 teams. Western Kentucky did it twice. Austin Peay did it once. Dino Johnson will be the trigger. He can run the baseline. Williams will be on him. 26 seconds to go. Johnson gets it inbounds to Cleveland. That's a guy to foul right there, but he got a timeout before they were able to foul him. And 3 seconds ticked off the clock. That's really not good for the Racers.
No,
Kenny.
I know that they had him in the trap there, and instead of fouling, Cleveland was able to get the timeout. But that's probably the best matchup you can hope for, is for Cleveland to be able to shoot the free throws, who's a 50% free throw shooter.
Were they greedy and hoping to get a steal, getting to throw it away?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And I'm sure out of the timeout, Coach Crone said, let's try to get a steal.
Right.
But once you don't, you got to go ahead and foul. And I'm sure he'll tell them this time, hey, if you're in that same situation, we got to foul.
Just now 3 seconds tick away, and the Redhawks will have another opportunity. However, they're going to get it. Is it here on the baseline? Where
it'll be on the baseline, and they will have a spot,
right,
which is much more difficult to be able to get the ball in bounds because they can't run the baseline.
And the officials normally very good about explaining that to whoever steps out. And I think it'll be a different person this time. It will not be Johnson. So he's generally a good candidate, but they have Jerikas Bradley. That's who they'll try to get it to. Look for the lob, that's who they get it to. They got to foul him. No, it comes over here right side. Isaiah Jones. They don't foul him either. Johnson is fouled with 17 seconds to go. So it took the Racers 9 seconds and 2 possessions to get that foul, and it'll send Nino Johnson to the line. And again tonight, he's been pretty good. 8 of 12 on the season, a 50% shooter. He can't hit 2. He has 2 coming. Let's see what happens. Racers down 2. The first in the air is good. 3-point lead for the Redhawks. Now the Racers aren't done if he hits the next one. But then their work's cut out. It's 2 possessions.
Still time enough, though, even if this goes in, to catch the ball, drive hard to the basket, try to get to the free throw line, and get the clock stopped. We don't have to jump up and take a three-pointer yet.
Both free throws good. Racers have it. Sapp leaves it for Moss. Out top. Takes a lot of time, drives in off the glass, and good. The Racers will take timeout with 9 seconds to go. 84-82. And the Redhawks will have it once again in basically the exact situation.
Well, that's what you want to do, though, is extend the game and buy yourself some time. If the Racers had jumped up and taken a three-pointer there and missed, down 4, the game's over. Now the Racers have another chance to defend, make Southeast Missouri get the ball in bounds, and then foul right away. Got to make sure that Jerikas Bradley is not the one that's catching the ball, as he's a 90-plus free throw shooter, but then be able to come in and foul quickly, even if he does get it.
Racers only 9 turnovers tonight, just 2 in this half, and this is something that has been at the forefront of the success of Southeast Missouri. Rayleigh taking care of the ball, 6 against Martin. They only have 7 tonight, Kenny. That's part of why they're doing a much better job. They're getting more possessions to score.
They are, and it's amazing because at times Southeast Missouri has been very turnover prone through the years under Dickie Nutt, and this basketball team handles the ball well, handles pressure. So the Racers got a full timeout. They'll be able to be in a complete face guard, Neil. Try to force Southeast Missouri to throw the ball over the top. And then if you can get a loose ball situation, the Racers might have a chance to be able to come up with a steal.
That was the final timeout for the Racers. Southeast Missouri has 2. So if they have some trouble getting it in bounds, they can go to that. The arrow will go Southeast way if that comes into play. And the teams are in the double bonus. They have been for a long time.
Southeast Missouri takes Cleveland out of the game, their worst free throw shooter.
They will hope to get it to Jerikas Bradley if possible. They get it to him, and he's fouled immediately. And so Bradley, who's missed 1 tonight, the 91% shooter, strolls to the line with a chance for 2, 7 seconds to go, and he could probably ice it here.
Very good execution by Southeast Missouri to be able to get the basketball in Bradley's hands. He set the screen and then rolled back to the ball and was open and able to get the ball in bounds.
Bradley missed. Unbelievable. He's missed 2 tonight. So if the Racers get the rebound, they'll have a chance to win if he misses 2. If he hits 1, they'll have a chance to get a tie. But they'll need a 3 to do it. Second one in the air. He hit that one. Bradley hits 1 of 2. Timeout Southeast Missouri, 85-82. There is a school of thought foul. What do you think?
Well, I think Dickie Nutt will do that with 7 seconds left because it's gonna be, there's not enough time to set up a long possession anyway. So as the Racers get it close to coming to half court, you'll see a bump there and put the Racers at the free throw line. The one thing that he doesn't want to do is give this Racer team life and be able to jump up and hit a 3 to send this game into overtime.
Now, Steve Prohm can also anticipate that and try to get it somewhere up the floor where they can get a three and get a look at it, can't they?
It can, and the campaign-type player is magnificent at catching the ball in traffic like this and being able to get a shot off so you're fouling the shot instead of off the dribble. I would imagine they'll get the ball in the hands of T.J. Sapp, who is the best racer with the ball in his hands with campaign being fouled out. Try to drive it as deep as they can if SEMO doesn't foul, and look for Moss or Justin Seymour on the three-point line.
85-82 our score. The Redhawks up 3 with 7 seconds to go. The Racers have to come length of the floor. It'd be different if they just had to lob it in somewhere and jack up a 3, but that's not the case. And unlike the NBA rule, well, they don't have a timeout anyway, but you don't get it at half court by burning one. But the Racers, they have to get it in bounds. They don't have a timeout. It is Moss, the trigger man. 7.9 seconds left. He finds Sapp. Sapp will bring it up. Goes for 3 to send it to overtime. He missed it, but they fouled him with 2 seconds to go. Sapp has a chance to make 3 and go to overtime. Wow. How about that?
Unbelievable. I don't know if Southeast Missouri could have played that any worse. T.J. Sapp was streaking down the floor, pulled up at the top of the key, under control.
Well, a lot of
Southeast
pressure.
Missouri just bumped him.
A lot of pressure. Got to make all 3 to tie it. First one is up and good.
A lot of arch on that. Great arch, and that's what you look for when pressure situations is, can they get enough arch on the ball?
2 seconds to go. That one's good, too. Nothing but net for Sapp, who's hit 4 straight. It's 85-84. 2 seconds to go. It's not overtime yet, by the way. Even if he hits, that one is up and good. We're tied at 85. Inbounds. Johnson hits Wallace. They'll shoot a 3. It hits rim, but the official over here was waving it off. It wouldn't have counted anyway.
No, I don't think so. Campaign is hugging his senior's neck, T.J. Sapp. But the first thing that came out of his mouth is that this game's not over. Let's don't just get to overtime. Let's win it.
Well, it's overtime, so that means we get a minute to talk about it. So let's do that. We'll take a minute break. We'll be right back after this on the Racer Sports Network. We're back. It's 85 all as we go to overtime. Again, we did it last year. We did it twice last year with 2 overtimes. And now the Racers, here's their situation. Payne's fouled out. Williams 4. Sapp 4. Moss 4. For SEMO, 4 on Calvin, Wallace, and Cleveland. And J.T. Jones, the walk-on, also has 4. Kenny, I have no idea how they're going to do it, but I'm more than willing to watch and have a go at it.
Well, the psychology of overtime is critical. Who can come out and develop some positive energy early?
Opening tip controlled by Southeast Missouri. It wasn't a pretty tip. Fans were bellowing on each side, but the Redhawks come away with it. On the left wing, it's Jones. Out top, Jarikus Bradley. Looks left, looks right. He's used his dribble. Hands it off to Nino Johnson. 13 on the shot clock. Down to 12. Goes right side to Cleveland. Cleveland drives inside, put it up, and missed it. Rebound comes to Seymour. We get a tie ball, and the arrow goes the Racers' way because they lost the tip. So they'll have a chance to take the lead. They haven't led in this half. We'll have to go to old Racer Dave to tell us when the last time is they led, because I don't remember. It's been a long time. Sapp has it top of the key, looks left side, finds Moss. Moss at the top, gets it to Seymour. Seymour finds Sapp in the paint, puts it off with the left hand up and in. The Racers take the lead.
T.J. Sapp has got fresh legs, Neil, as he sat so long in the second half with those 4 fouls, and you could see him explode off that curl to catch that basketball before he scored.
87-85, Sapp with 16. Pass to the right side goes to Jones. Gets a screen from Johnson, can't use it. Muscles his way in, puts it up with the left hand. He missed it. Tipped up, no good. Tipped again, and Farrell gets the rebound. He shovels to Sapp. The Racers push it in transition. Gets it right corner. Moss from 18. Good! Other way, shot up, no, a miss, and the Racers get the rebound with Moss coming away. 89-85, the crowd for the Racers is in a frenzy. Sapp directs traffic. Sapp wants Seymour to come out high. Now the Racers don't have to be in any hurry at all. 13 on the shot clock. Seymour into the right corner. Finds Sapp, get it into Williams, and he was grabbed. Williams would go to the line for two. And you're starting to see frustration in the faces of this SEMO team who thought they had the game won, Ken.
You're exactly right. It's amazing when you look at two teams come out of an overtime, who is going to be equipped to be able to fight through the difficulties of having a lead, then losing it, or the Racers coming from behind. And you can tell that the Racer team's equipped for this. This is all of the work that Coach Prohm does with this team mentally, is constantly pushing them through tough times, trying to make sure you're mentally tough, and the Racers are fighting through it.
First free throw good. By the way, that was Isaiah Jones' fourth foul. 5-point lead. It's 6. Biggest lead of the night. 3:03 to go. Jarvis Williams has made 2 free throws. 3:02 in ticket. 91-85 in overtime. Now it's the Redhawks behind the 8 ball. Out top, Wallace goes left side to Jones. They find Johnson. Mid-block, in, put it up. He missed it, right side of the rim, a miss. And Williams rebounds. They can't throw it in the ocean right now.
They got the ball where they wanted to with Nino Johnson against Jarvis Williams, who has 4 fouls.
Sapp between the circles. Throws left side to Moss. Moss goes to the lane, finds Seymour. Seymour puts up the 10-footer, left it short, and on the rebound it comes out to Isaiah Jones. 2:21 to go. The lead is 6. Now Wallace with it. Wallace on the right. Mid-block extended. Johnson backs down Williams. Got to be careful. Well, let's see who it is. It's going to be Williams, and he has just fouled out. So he'll join Campaign on the bench. 2:11 to go, and it sends Johnson to the line.
Jonathan Farrell is a little gimpy, too. I don't know if he turned an ankle and going up. I saw it 2 possessions ago where he's favoring an ankle a little bit. So Tyler Rambo's going to have to come in for the Racers and defend Jerricus Bradley the rest of the way out.
91-85, 2:11 to go. And at the line, Nino Johnson. Johnson has made 10 of 14 free throws. First one is in the air, and it's good.
Racers still need to continue to try to attack the basket and get to the free throw line, as 2 minutes is a long time in this game. The Racers can't put the offense on ice.
91-86, next one is up. Barely drew iron, and Sapp grabs the rebound. The lead is 5. The Racers have the ball. 2:05 remaining. Sapp across the center stripe. Turns out to be a blessing in disguise that he was in foul trouble. Bad pass, but Moss finds Seymour with it. Now in the right corner, Sapp for 3. No good. Rebound. Redhawks have it. They get a run out. It is Johnson up against Seymour. He shoved him away with the elbow. No whistle, and he put it up and in. Johnson with a bucket. We're back to a 3-point game with 1:39 to go. Racers have had a couple of looks. You'd like for them to try to get something closer rather than try the shots they've taken. 91-88, 128 ticket. 18 on the shot clock. Sapp not being closely guarded at the moment, I don't believe. No, he's not. Don't have a count going against him. Sapp, crossover dribble, right elbow jumper, no. Farrell grabs the rebound, put it up, no. Tip. It is a foul on Farrell, and now he's fouled out with 1:12 to go, and the Redhawks can get within 2.
Or is that 4
is that,
on
no,
Farrell?
Excuse me,
yeah,
that's
I think
4
on Farrell.
Sorry, it's only 4. Whoa. So that's better. I had written one of Farrell's in his spot. That was my bad.
When the officials are in a game like this, if you drive the ball to the basket, they're going to bail out the offensive player more oftentimes than not. And so the Racers, the last 2 possessions, have settled for jump shots. Got to continue to drive the basketball to the basket, get to the free throw line, so they're not relying on the jump shooters.
Cleveland 7 of 10 at the line. The first is good. 91-89. The Racers were up 6. with 2:11 to go, and they can cut it to 1 with 1:12 to go in just a minute. Lots of ebbs and flows in this one. The next one in the air, got it. That's from a 51% free throw shooter. 91-90. The Racers by 1 with 1:12 to go. 2 starters done because of foul trouble. Short-handed. How will they get it done here? It comes to Seymour. To Moss, deep on the wing, far side. Back to Seymour, 20 on the shot clock. Now to Moss. Moss spins, doesn't have anything he likes. Gets it down low and a timeout. Coach Prohm smelled the turnover. They get 1 additional with the overtime, so they burn it with 13 on the shot clock, 50.8 to go. Is this a spot where they can draw up a play?
Yeah, it is. This is, the Racers will try to get TJ Sapp off of the ball so he can catch the ball and try to drive. As the Racers are, it's a 20-second, so it's not a full timeout. Try to get TJ Sapp in some space where he can attack the basket. If nothing else, be able to get to the free throw line. No post-up game left for the Racers, really, with Jonathan Farrell and Tyler Rambo in the game. So the Racers will spread the floor. If the defenders help, then Moss and Seymour need to be ready to shoot the basketball.
Nino Johnson leading the Redhawks with 25 points. Cleveland has 21. For the Racers, two of their leading scorers on the bench. Payne, 26, Williams, 16. The leading scorer in the game, Moss with 18. He's 0 for 3 from 3 range. Seymour 1 for 3. Sapp 1 for 6. Moss finds Sapp. Drives in, put it up, missed it. Rebound, Sapp gets it, puts it up. He missed, and we're going to get a foul on Farrell, and now he's fouled out. That for sure is his 5th, and the Redhawks with 44 seconds to go will go to the line with a chance to take the lead.
Jarikus Bradley going to the free throw line, the 90-plus free throw shooter for Southeast Missouri.
And here comes Wayne Langston. Wayne has improved a lot lately, but this is a tough spot to put him in. And Bradley at the line has not been himself, although he still had 2 of 4 at the strike. But he's a 91% shooter. That one's good. We're tied at 91. The Redhawks down with 2:11 to go, down 6. They've reeled off 6 straight points. Another one to come for Jarikus Bradley. Little shuffling as they set up the rebounding. 91 all, 44 seconds to go. In the air, got it. That's what you expect from Bradley. 92-91, a 7-0 run for the Redhawks after the Racers had gone up 6 in overtime. Now, they're 3 starters down. Sapp across the center stripe. Drives in, dishes it to Rambo, missed the shot, but he'll go to the line with a chance to put the Racers on top, but he'll have to hit 2 free throws to do it.
Tough spot for Tyler Rambo as he caught that ball in traffic and was able to take it up strong to draw the foul. Now the critical free throws.
Rambo at the line, 64%. He's much improved from last year. That one's good, and we're tied at 92. 33 seconds to go. So there's no shot clock. 33.8 to be exact. Rambo for the lead. Got it! 93-92, Rambo. And now the Redhawks have it. It'll be Wallace to bring it up. Redhawks can take a timeout. They have 2. Pass to Cleveland on the wing. Goes inside. And Langston gets the steal! He hits Seymour to Sapp. The Racers don't have to shoot. They foul Sapp with 15 seconds to go. Wayne's World. How about it?
Wayne fight over the top. He fought, tipped that ball just enough to get it away from Nino Johnson, and then recovered it. No one thought that Nino Johnson wasn't going to catch that ball, Neil. It's just fingertips that Langston was able to get on that ball to knock it away.
And he's a little taller than Farrell. Farrell probably doesn't get that ball.
Exactly right.
Amazing.
Longer arms, a fresher defender, and he was able to fight around. Racers have to be ready to play defense here, even if they convert on both free throws.
Sapp, front of the rim, missed the free throw. So the best he can do is give the Racers a 2-point lead. Now there's a little blood on his elbow, so he's going to have to come to the sideline. The official noticed it, and that's his job. Got to do that. That's totally within the rules. So they'll give him a second to pat that down. But you have to wonder if this will affect TJ as they spray some stuff on there and get that off. So here comes Sapp. 15 seconds to go. Racers by 1. Sapp to shoot 1 free throw to try to make it a 2-point lead. It's in the air. Got it. 94-92. Redhawks will take a timeout, and then they'll try to set something up. They have 1 timeout remaining. What's Dickie Nutt going to be doing here? Setting someone up?
Well, I'm sure Jarikus Bradley is going to be the point of concern for the Racers to try to make sure that deny him the ball. I assume that if I'm Dickie Nutt, I'm trying to drive the ball, get to the free throw line, as opposed to trying to take a 3 to win this thing in regulation. The problem is that the Racers have done a very good job defensively, and Bradley's not moving as well since he rolled that ankle. So the Southeast Missouri has the length of the floor to go, 15 seconds. The Racers have to play without fouling. They'll move your feet, contest all shots, and then box out and go rebound.
94-92. The Redhawks with 1 timeout left. The Racers lead by 2. We're in overtime. 15 seconds left in the game. And the Redhawks just burned 1 of their 2 timeouts. They don't make any personnel changes that I can see.
You don't want Southeast Missouri to be able to catch this ball on the run and get into the open floor. You want to make them initiate their offense against the set defense.
Jones gets it inbounds to Calvin. Calvin down to 10 seconds. Let's see if they look for Cleveland. Cleveland has it, nearly fumbled it out of bounds. Cleveland drives in. He finds Bradley. Bradley through a double team. Missed it. Rebound, Sapp. The buzzer sounds. The game's over. And one of the most improbable comeback wins in the history of Racer basketball. The Racers are your outright OVC champions for 2014-15. Payne on the bench. Farrell on the bench. Williams on the bench. How the heck they do it, Kenny? I have no idea.
That's just perseverance, Neil. That is Racer basketball under Steve Prohm. Keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, and willing yourself to be in a position to win the game at the end. Great opportunity for the Racers here to show what they're made of.